vidadhati purvam yo vai vedanscha prahinoti tasmai tam hadevamatma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitaha Prajnana Ghanaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Om Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavad Padabhidham Vibhrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane. Om. In the 47th verse, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells Arjuna that karmāṇi eva adhikara hate. Arjuna, you are qualified only to do the karma. The question is, when is a person qualified for karma? When can we say that a person is qualified to do karma? Qualification means the capability of doing as well as the capacity to reap its result together is going to be called as adhikara, or the qualification over here. Arjuna, you are qualified to do the karma. Meaning, he who now identifies I am the doer is qualified to do the karma. The doer has a choice of doing, of not doing, or of doing the same thing in a different way than the prescribed method. And therefore, the karta or the doer is the one who is qualified for karma. Arjuna necessarily is identifying himself as a doer, and therefore he has the conflict whether he should fight the war, he should not fight the war. And he has, therefore, there is going to be this duel, there is going to be this conflict. The conflict is basically because a person identifies himself as a doer. And let us not forget that the doership and experiencership is only a superimposition. It is only a delusion, because this Atma is free from doership and experiencership. And in spite of being free from doership and experiencership, if a person still finds that the meaning of I is the doer and experiencer, that means that the person is still under the shade of ignorance. Ignorance is what rules his intelligence. He is under the delusion. Identifying Atma with Anatma is the only way doership and experiencership can ever be justified. So karmani eva, Arjuna, the knowledge has yet not dawned on you. You may strive for knowledge. You may be striving for knowledge, but the knowledge has yet not dawned on you. And as long as the knowledge has not dawned, till then a person definitely is going to identify himself as a doer. And as a result, the doer is qualified to do the karma. And when you are qualified to do the karma, to do the action, might as well do the action the right way. So now the choice is not between doing the right action or not doing the right action. The choice, there is a choice over here, doing the right action, which means living a very righteous life, living the life righteously, doing every action in accordance with the scriptures. But now, just doing that much and living a religiously pious life, is that the only thing over here? No, it further goes into saying that a person may be living righteously, doing the right actions, yet the person, because of his desires for the objects to be acquired through the actions, now will become bound by those actions. Those actions will become the karma bandhana. And therefore, if you are desirous of liberation, if you are desirous of liberation and you still identify yourself as a doer, then doing the karma and doing the right karma is the only way. So there is no choice over here, whether one should live righteously or not live righteously. Righteousness is inevitable. Living a righteous way is inevitable. But then doing it for the karma phalas, doing the action so that one will be able to draw the karma phala. Karma phala will exist as putra, vitta and loka. Doing the action so that you can have progeny, wealth, name, fame, position, recognition. If these are your motivations, including the achievement of heaven or the celestial worlds, if this is what you desire through your righteousness, then please know that you are going to be bound. And this is going to be a pratibandha, a lock between you and fructification of liberation. This desire itself will not allow the knowledge to take place. And therefore, in order to overcome the first hurdle, you will have to give up the desire for the fruits of action in terms of putra, vitta and loka. And therefore, Arjuna, karmani eva adhikaraha te ma phaleshu kadachana, but not in their result or the fruits of those actions. Ma karma phala hetu bhuhu, do not become the very cause for the karma phalas. Do not become someone who does the karma because he desires the karma phala. Also, if you are going to question that if I'm not wanting to have the result of karma phala in terms of progeny, in terms of recognition, wealth, pleasures, position, popularity, power, or attainment of celestial worlds and admiration of the people, then why should I do karma? Might as well I will take to lethargy and give up the karma. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Mate sangaha stu karmani. Do not fall in love. Do not get attached to akarma, which means not doing the karma. Doing the karma and not doing the karma is also not a choice. Even if a person decides that I will not do the karma, by saying I'm not doing the karma, he is doing the karma of not doing. Because you still are calling yourself a doer. And therefore, this doer is doing the karma of not doing what is prescribed. And therefore, he is going to miss. He is going to have the pratyavaya dosha. Pratyavaya dosha means not doing what is prescribed to be done. And therefore, mate saṅgaṁ astu akarmāṇi. Let not this become your, infatuation with akarma. Akarane pritihi ma bhūt. And therefore, so we must remember that karmani eva adhikaraha. Now, Bhagavan Shri Krishna, by saying karmani eva adhikara, so that means that there is yet another field where a person can have his adhikara, which means a person can be qualified for, which means karmani eva means doing the karma and renunciation of the karma. There are only two things. When can karma be renounced, and when is a person qualified for the renunciation of the karma? It is only when the knowledge has dawned, and now the person finds that nothing else but it is only to be established in that truth, to immerse himself in the vision of that reality. Now he finds that giving up of doership is the only way, and that doership is also the falsehood of the self, and therefore the person gives it up. The karma is given up because he desires neither the results of the action, nor does he identify himself as a doer, and therefore in the karma tyaga adhikara is there, but Arjuna, you yet have not gained that adhikara. You yet have not gained that qualification for giving up of the karma, for sannyasa. People think that sannyasa is another type of lifestyle as a choice. No, sir. The sannyasa is renunciation of karma, and which comes with knowledge. Either the karma is given up as a result of knowledge taking place, and one wanting to establish himself, one wanting to immerse himself completely in the vision of reality. Only then renunciation is possible. The other condition where the renunciation of karma is possible is when a person desires nothing, neither the wealth, nor any progeny, nor any recognition, nor any wealth, or any celestial worlds. But when the person wants only the knowledge, then it is possible to give up the karma. Arjuna, you tell, out of these two conditions, are you a jnani to give up the karma, or can you say that you are totally dedicated only for pursuit of knowledge? If pursuit of knowledge was your only motivation, how did you come to this battlefield? What has brought you to this battlefield? And suddenly, on having arrived at the battlefield, now you have discovered that you want nothing else but only knowledge. Maturity is not a result of something that happens simply in a spur of moment. It is a process. It is a process of weaning off. And therefore, all those things will be seen in you even before. But never before you have shown any interest in this knowledge. And suddenly now when you are seeing that Bhishma, Drona, etc., the people whom you have to face, and the sudden onslaught of the impending dukkham, impending suffering, has made you turn into a spiritual aspirant, and an intense spiritual aspirant who wants to take to renunciation. You don't find such kind of specimen in society? where the people come because the person was ditched, betrayed by his girlfriend, and she married somebody else. Now this person is so disappointed, he wants to become a sadhu. Somebody has made a big loss in the business, and therefore he feels he's disillusioned with the world, and therefore he wants to take to sannyas. Somebody is not able to get a good job, and therefore he thinks that he should take to sannyas. Somebody is being rejected by his family members, and therefore he thinks that he should take to sannyas. Are these the reasons for renunciation of karma? Are these the reasons? Now, can these be called as the reasons which can justify sannyas? No way. And therefore, or there are people who take to sannyas thinking that through sannyas they are going to become reformists of the society. Serve the society, reform the society. To reform the society and to serve the society, where do you find that you need to be a sannyasi? To reform the society or to serve the society, all that you require is just earnestness to do good to the society. Why would you want to take sannyas and then only serve the society? Who has put this kind of an obligation on you? Who has put this kind of a rule? Who has made this rule for you? Then why have this idea that in order to serve the society, I'm going to take sannyas? Because I am disappointed with my wife, with my children, with my parents, with my job, with my business, I'm going to take to sannyas. Therefore, there is no other way. So Arjuna, know well, karmāṇi eva adhikaraha, natu karma tyage. Evakara, which is sitting over there in the shloka, is an indication of karmani eva. Eva means not in anything else other than karma. What else could there be other than karma? Only karma tyaga. Karma tyaga is possible only when one realizes that he is not the doer. And in that realization, in that knowledge itself, the karma tyaga can take place. As long as you are a doer, karma tyaga cannot take place. Because in some way or the other, you still will be doing the karma. How then karma tyaga is possible? How then renunciation of karma, giving up of karma is possible? If not this, you will be doing something else. And therefore, it is only karma tyaga is not where you are qualified yet. Therefore, do the karma, but don't do the karma motivated by these things, by the karma phala. What are the karma phala? Putra, vitta, loka. In the sense, it can be progeny, pleasure, name, fame, prosperity, property, power, position, recognition. All these are celestial worlds. All these are karma phalas. Not for that. Do the karma. Because if attached to these karma phalas, you will be bound. The bondage will become stronger and stronger. As it is strong at this moment. As it is, this idea that I am the doer, I am the experiencer, is sitting so fast that it looks almost impossible to get out of this delusion. Though it is an error, yet that erroneous knowledge has become a fact for you. Though a person may be listening to Vedanta 30 years and 40 years, and yet for him, I am the doer, this idea remains unshaken. I am the doer, I am the experiencer, I am a man, I am a woman. These ideas do not even get shaken up a little bit. And therefore, that clearly shows that the person is trapped in his wrong decisions. Yada hi karma phala trishna prayuktaha karmani pravartate tada karma phalasya eva janmano hetu bhavet. And therefore, if you will desire these progeny, wealth, all these things, wanting to experience something in this world or in the other world, that will become the cause of your next birth, meaning it will keep you bound to this miserable existence as a jiva. Therefore, Arjuna, do not desire these, yet keep on doing the karma. How then should I do the karma is the legitimate question, a question which should naturally occur. So therefore, the next verse is an answer to the question which should come naturally to every seeker on having heard this particular shloka. Now you will realize that so many people use this particular shloka to quote everywhere as if this is the central teaching of Bhagavad Gita. But let us remember that this is a shloka which is only telling do karma without attachment to the karma phala. The central teaching of all the Shastra is Atma is Brahman. And in order to cognize that Atma is Brahman, the idea that I am the doer is already falsified, will have to be falsified. Do the karma without any attachment means you are recognizing yourself as a doer. This is false idea about the self. And this is not therefore the central teaching of Bhagavad Gita. It happens to be one of the stations on the way to the destination. Karma has its own place. Then what is the place of the karma? Is to be understood in the scheme of liberation. Yadi karma phala prayuktena na kartavyam karma, katham tarhi kartavyam. How then the karma has to be done if not motivated by the idea of gaining some karma phala? How should the karma be done? Because we have yet not known. For us, doing an action means motivated for gaining something from this world. And when you are asking and seeking something from this world, do not forget that you have reduced yourself as a beggar in front of the world, demanding something with your hands spread. And therefore, over here in Bhagavad Gita as well as in the Upanishad, the person now who keeps on reiterating the falsehood that Atma is the doer is called as the Kripana. Kripana means Daridraha, conjuse, a miser, the one who is living in a pitiable condition. You know, a miser is always living in a pitiable condition. The person has enormous wealth to do whatever he wants to do. He has plenty of money, and yet he will not use that money even to give himself comfort. He will continue to live in a pitiable condition, but he will not give himself the comfort. And then he will leave the world without using what was meant for him to use. Thus, all the money that he has saved so far will only become somebody else's property. Thus he lives in a pitiable condition. This is what happens. Pitiable. Deena. Dainyam will be his fate. So also a person who is demanding some sort of karma phala from this world, let this world provide me progeny, pleasure, let the world give me some recognition, popularity, power, position, celestial experiences, whatever may be your demand, do not forget that you are on your knees begging in front of this world, give me something pitiable. And you are doing it, not saying it. And remember, actions speak more loudly than the words. Actions are louder than the words. You may not say that I am a beggar in this world, but the very action and its motivation that motivated by the karma phala means you are already a beggar. You need not say that. That means that you could be without begging, and yet you are begging. Is not that something pitiable like a miser? Deena. Deena will be the thing. Therefore, katham karma kartavyam. If it is not meant, if I should not do the karma in order to gain some name, fame, pleasure, popularity, etc., then for what and how should I do the karma? Over here, the answer is given in the next verse 48. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. Saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya. Saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya. Siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. Siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. Samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. Samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. Arjuna, do the karma established in yoga. How to do the karma was the question. So doing the karma or not doing the karma is not the choice. Doing is inevitable. And something that is inevitable does not fall in the category of choice. Do you have a choice whether I should breathe or I should not breathe? No. As a doer, every action is going to be your doing. And therefore, doing the karma is something that you cannot give up. And for whom? For the doer. So till what point the karma cannot be given up? Till the point that one still discovers himself as a doer. Till the point one discovers himself as a doer. Now get out of that silly little thing. I'm a good doer, I'm a bad doer. People should call me good, though I do so much good, people still keep calling me bad. Why, Swamiji, people should call me bad? I'm doing good. Let people call whatever they want. They are going to do that. You yourself have been calling yourself as the doer, as the jiva, when you are Brahman. Then why complain about people calling you good or bad? Where do you say that you are Atma, you are Brahman? Though you are Brahman. You want to call yourself as a good person, good jiva, good husband, good wife, good this and good that. You want to have those small little medals, plastic medals. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. So Arjuna, doing the karma, how? Established in yoga. Established in yoga. saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya. By giving up your attachment, oh Dhanañjaya. Dhanañjaya is one of the epithets of Arjuna, because Arjuna has won a lot of wealth. So that came, this epithet to Arjuna has come as what? As, like the Paramvira Chakra or something like that. Dhanañjaya. When the Rajasuya Yajna had to be done after the Pandavas created the Indraprastha, they created a city, a settlement, which was way far advanced than all the settlements, human settlements in this peninsula so far, which was even way far more superior than Hastinapur itself. And the land from which Arjuna and his brothers had created this settlement was actually a land which was barren. Nothing could grow. And in such land, these brothers, with their efforts, intelligence, had created a city, a settlement, which was the most advanced by all means, even in those times. The buildings, the systems were truly amazing. And then when they wanted to do the Rajasuya Yajna, a lot of wealth is required for doing that particular ritual, and only a king can do that ritual. So Yudhishthira had to be crowned, and Yudhishthira had decided to do this particular ritual, for which a lot of wealth was required, and Arjuna had brought all that wealth single-handedly. And therefore Arjuna is called as Dhanañjaya. By the way, Dhanañjaya is one of the epithets even of fire. So Arjuna is brilliant, bright, can burn his opponents just by his presence. Dhanañjaya. So, hey Dhanañjaya, O Arjuna, saṅgaṁ tyaktvā, giving up your attachment. Now, naturally, in the attachment over here is what attachment? The attachment to the karma phala has already been given up, and you are doing the karma without attachment for the karma phala. Now, what are you saying? Which attachment has to be given up? And therefore, what is being spoken in this verse is something more than giving up of the attachment to the karma phala. Because attachment to the karma phala has already been told to be given up in the earlier verse. Now this is not reiteration of that idea. In fact, something more has to be given up over here. And so, remember, the whole of spirituality, if has to be summed up, it means only tyaga. Somebody once had asked Ramakrishna Paramahamsa what is the meaning of Gita. And he said, turn the words Gita, if uttered backside, what do they say? Reversed, it would become Tagi. And in Bengali, Tagi means Tyagi, the one who is a renunciate. Renunciation is the message. Giving up the karma, attachment to the karma phala is one thing, but at the same time, there is something more to be given up even after giving up the attachment to the karma phala. That is how the doership will become refined and refined to the point that now it can evaporate. This is your spiritual advancement. Spiritual advancement is not when a person starts gathering stranger experiences. Those strange experiences could be because your brain chemicals are confused. The neurotransmitters are going haywire. So we are not talking about spiritual advancement as strange experiences. What is then spiritual advancement over here is when, at the first stage, when your actions are not motivated by these small things like wealth, property, or things like that, yet your actions are still so perfect, impeccable. And at the next stage, the actions are with dexterity, are done with dedication, but without any motivation for the above karma phalas, as well as something more. It does not have. And that means now these are the signs of ego evaporating, disappearing. And the final blow to the ego is with the knowledge when the ego is totally falsified. The idea of doership and experiencership is falsified in wake of knowledge. And even furthermore, the Jivan Mukti is where the falsified ego is not even seen as a dream. The dreamless state where the ego is not even seen because of absorption in samadhi, then is that Jivan Mukti. There is total absence of the ego. So now look at it. Siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. Now, first of all, do the karmas. So doing the karma is regardless. So doing the karma is choiceless. A. B. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. Doing the karma by being established in yoga. By being established in yoga. If a person is absorbed in samadhi, then will he be doing karma? No. So now the meaning of word yoga is definitely different from the yoga which is meant over there as samadhi. And therefore, over here in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna has to define his own meaning of yoga. It is not absorption over here. Then what is it? We will see, because the fourth part of the same stanza gives you the definition of yoga, which is meant for a karma yogi. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya. Siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. Now, the third quarter of the verse is actually the explanation of saṅgaṁ tyaktvā. You see, if you divide the verse in 4 quarters, the first quarter is yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. The second quarter will be saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya. The third quarter is siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā, and the fourth quarter is samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. Now, in the first two quarters, we find yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi, do the karmas established in yoga. Okay? The answer to what is that yoga in which I have been asked to be established? Answer to the meaning of the word yoga is provided. What exactly is this? Is explained in the third quarter. Siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. This is the meaning. Saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya means siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. And yoga is samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. So when the action has got these two things, what is it? Yoga and free from the saṅgaṁ, attachment. Now we are not talking about our attachment to the karma phala. Now this giving up of attachment, which is still subtler in nature, is being spoken over here. Therefore, we cannot apply the meaning of giving up the attachment as giving up the attachment to the fruit of action. No, that already is out of sight. This is still advanced. The movement is vertically upwards. Urdhvagati, it has attained. So, now he says, yoga. Let us go through a little bhashyam in order to get to the crux of this verse. Yoga-sthaḥ sankuru karmāṇi kevalam ishvarārtham tatrapi ishvaro me tushyatu iti saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi. Now he says, ishvarārtham, doing the karma, not for any phala, not for putra vittaloka, but it is simply done as your offering to Ishvara. Why is the karma done? Because it is the only way to worship Ishvara. Doing what is necessary for you to do. But then for what reason? For no other reason, worldly or otherworldly. It is simply the way in which I can worship Ishvara. Ishvarārtham. Okay? Ishvarārtham. And now the saṅgaṁ tyaktvā means that saṅgaṁ tyaktvā means now this is the way I can worship Ishvara. The attachment would be, may Ishvara be pleased with me. Now even this demand is also not there. Why are you doing? Not so that Ishvara can become pleased with me. I am doing it just because I have to do it. And this is the only way I can adore, worship Ishvara. And after worshipping Ishvara, for what? So that Ishvara can be pleased with me, propitiated by me. No, even such demand is not there. Tatrapi, over there also, Ishvaro me tushyatu iti saṅgaṁ tyaktvā. Ityapi saṅgaṁ tyaktvā. Even this demand is also not there. Even this demand is not there. that may Ishvara be pleased with me. And therefore, the meaning of saṅgaṁ tyaktvā in this part of the verse is something more than your giving up of the attachment to the karma phala. Karma phala is putra vitta loka only. Doing it for Ishvara's sake, doing it for as an offering to the Ishvara, doing it as your worship of Ishvara. But doing it so that Ishvara can be pleased, God can be pleased with you, even this saṅgaṁ, even this attachment is not there. Now you see, is it not something different from the earlier saṅga? Is it not something more than just your attachment to karma phala? Attachment to the karma phala has already been given up through the earlier words. In this verse, saṅgaṁ tyaktvā is even this attachment that may Ishvara be pleased with me. That is also not there. Doing it, just doing it. Now you see, naturally, the experiencerhood, doership is so fragile at this moment that it can disappear in the very first stroke of knowledge. And so, siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. Why is this being done then? Even doing this, so that the mind becomes qualified for knowledge. And over here also, siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā will mean a person says, well, I am doing this, living with this philosophy of doing the karma for Ishvara's sake, but why has knowledge yet fructified in me? So attainment of knowledge will be siddhi, and non-attainment of knowledge would be the failure of karma yoga. He says, don't even think about this siddhi or asiddhi. Don't even think about its success or failure. Just keep doing it. Siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā. Okay, look at that. Phalatrishna shunyena kriyamane karmani sattva-shuddhija jnana-prapti lakshana siddhi. What is the siddhi? Jnana-prapti. Okay, what is the siddhi over here? Attainment of knowledge. And non-attainment of knowledge is asiddhi. Tayoho, between these two, samo bhūtvā. Well, whenever it has to happen, it will happen. I will keep on striving, going ahead, just doing the karma for the sake of Ishvara, and striving for knowledge is what I have to do. I will keep on doing. Tulyo bhūtvā kuru karmāṇi. Keep doing. Kahasau yogaha yatrasthaha kuru iti uktam. What is that yoga established in which one should keep doing the karma? That is being said. Idameva tat siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā samatvaṁ yoga uchyate. This samatvaṁ is called as yoga. This samatvaṁ is called as yoga. The equanimity, not to be disturbed. Oh, Swamiji, when will this knowledge take place? You know, we have been listening and now we want some experience. Hey, shut up. Keep going ahead. Keep going ahead. siddhy-asiddhyoḥ, samatvaṁ yoga uchyate, yatra sthaḥ kuru iti uktam idameva tat siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samatvaṁ. That samatvaṁ between siddhi and asiddhi, the equipoise, the equanimity between siddhi and asiddhi is called as yoga. Is called as yoga. Arjuna, keep going ahead. Keep going ahead. Yat punaha samatva buddhi yuktam ishvararadhanartham karma tasmat karmanaha. Now, the karma which is done for the sake of Ishvara's worship, compared to that, the karma which is done only for the sake of fruit of action, what is its status? What is the status of such karma is being told to us in the next verse, number 49. We will look at it when we meet next. Friends, today is the last day of 2021. The whole year, or even during the 2020 and 2021, both these years have made us see the severity of the pandemic, the fragileness of human life, the importance of still being living. And it has given us this opportunity to sit together and study, listen to the words of this immortal song of the Lord. We are thankful to life. We are thankful to this 2021. With all its severity, it still provided us this opportunity to listen to these words, which otherwise in our haste and in our busyness for other social commitments and things like that, we could have never imagined that one day we will sit with this peace and really listen to the words of the teachers. So we are grateful to life and grateful to 2021 that it has brought the light to our life, though the situations outside were bleak and dark. Kalaya tasmai namaha. We bow down to the year that is going to go, that is already past. Last few hours of this 2021 are here. And we will welcome the next year with still the prayer in our minds and heart that may this time also bring us closer to the truth, closer to God, closer to the reality, washing away all our false attachments and revealing to us the gems, the inexhaustible joy that is hidden in the self. I wish you all a very happy new year and will say goodbye to 2021 with heart full of gratitude. Thank you, friends. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Om Purnamataha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashikritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Bye.